Treyven and Guy Wolf, The Day Treyven Learned the Biggest Trick. Written by Joseph Mercurio. Chapter 1, A Crow from Detroit. Treyven was 9 years old, and his skateboard was his favorite thing in the world. He loved the way the wheels hummed when he rode down the block, the scrape of the grip tape under his shoes, and the feeling of freedom every push gave him. But Treyven wasn't alone on his adventures. Perched on his shoulder, or sometimes flapping above his head, was Guy Wolf, a talking crow. Not just any crow, but a crow from Detroit, Michigan. Guy Wolf loved to remind Treyven where he came from. "Kid," the crow cawed in his raspy voice, "Detroit made me tough. That city runs on Coney dogs, Faygo, Motown, and heart. Don't you ever forget it." Treyven laughed. "You're a bird. What do you know about Coney dogs?" Guy Wolf sloughed his feathers. "Plenty. I may not eat 'em, but I sure know where to find the best ones. Dooley's Coney Island, can't beat it. And don't get me started on the chili fries." Treyven shook his head. "You're so weird." Chapter 2, Heading to New Orleans. One summer afternoon, Guy Wolf landed on Treyven's windowsill. "Pack your board, kid," the crow squawked. "We've got a trip. There's a big skateboarding competition in New Orleans. It's time you showed the world what you've got." Treyven's eyes widened. New Orleans? That's far. Guy Wolf nodded. "Yep, it's got music, gumbo, spooky legends, and history around every corner. But more important, it's where you're going to learn something bigger than tricks." Treyven grabbed his board and backpack. "All right, let's go." Chapter 3, The French Quarter. When they arrived in New Orleans, the air felt different, warm, sticky, and full of spice. Street musicians played trumpets and saxophones on the corners, and people danced in the streets. Bright beads hung from balconies, and the smell of gumbo and beignets floated everywhere. Guy Wolf perched on Treyven's shoulder. "This is the French Quarter, kid. It's older than most places back home. Jazz was born here. And let me tell you, people say ghosts, vampires, and even voodoo magic still live in these streets." Treyven's eyes got wide. "For real?" Guy Wolf chuckled. "Kid-friendly version, don't worry. Voodoo here is about spirit, hope, and healing. As for vampires, well, that's just the city's way of telling spooky bedtime stories. But it sure makes the place exciting, huh?" Treyven nodded, gripping his board tighter. Chapter 4, A Crow's Secret. As they walked, Guy Wolf hopped down into the gutter and came back holding something shiny. "Look at this treasure," he cawed. It was a necklace with a strange heart-shaped design crossed with a triangle. "What's that?" Treyven asked. Guy Wolf puffed up proudly. "This, kid, is a heartogram. It's the logo of the metal band Him, but most skaters know it because Bam Margera used it. Bam was a legendary skateboarder, my favorite when I was younger. And funny enough, your dad's favorite too." Treyven froze. "Wait, you know my dad?" Guy coughed. "Darn it, my loose beak always gets me in trouble. Truth is, I was your father's mentor when he was a kid, same as I'm yours now. I'm kind of like a spirit guide. I stick around to help kids grow. Then someday you'll forget me, and your kid will have me too. Your dad's out working hard to take care of you and your mom, Vehenna. Until then, I'm making sure you grow into who you're meant to be." Treyven blinked. "Whoa, that's a lot." Guy Wolf nodded. "It's a story for another day, kid." Chapter 5, The Scared Girl. At the skate park for the competition, Treyven noticed something. A group of kids were teasing others, laughing when someone fell, whispering mean things. On the bleachers sat a girl about Treyven's age, crying quietly. She had dark curly hair and a skateboard at her side. Treyven walked over. "Hey, are you okay?" The girl sniffled. "My name's Naomi. I fell during warm-ups. The bullies laughed, and now I'm scared to try again." Treyven smiled gently. "You should talk to my mentor. He helps me all the time." Naomi looked up as Guy Wolf hopped closer. The crow tilted his head. "Naomi, listen up. Falling doesn't make you weak. Getting back up makes you strong. That's the Detroit way. You fight, you push, and you don't let anyone stop you. Never give up. Naomi wiped her eyes. Really? Guy Wolf cawed. Really? Now go out there and show them. Chapter 6. The Competition. The crowd cheered as the competition began. One by one, skaters rolled out, showing their tricks. The bullies struggled, never breaking past a score of 8. Then Naomi dropped in. She rode the mini-ramp smoothly, landing kick turns, ollies, and even a board slide. When she finished, the judges raised their cards, 9.1. Naomi gasped. She had done it. Next was Treyven. He skate fast and fearless, popping shove-its and grinds, ending with a clean 360 flip. His score, also 9.1. The bullies' jaws dropped. The two kids had outscored everyone. Chapter 8. Gumbo and a Lesson. As the final round approached, Naomi versus Treyven, Guy Wolf pulled Treyven aside. "Hey, kid, you smell that gumbo?" Treyven frowned. "Really? You pulled me out of the zone for gumbo?" Guy Wolf smirked. "My plan worked. Listen, sometimes you've got to knock yourself down to build someone else up. She needs confidence. You already have it. Do something wild, fall, and let her win. You'll see something special happen." Treyven didn't understand, but he respected his mentor. When his turn came, Treyven tried a trick he had never landed before, a McTwist. He spun high in the air and fell hard. Naomi rushed to his side. "Are you okay?" she asked, worried. Treyven grinned through the pain. "Yeah, go win this thing." Naomi took her final run, full of courage, and landed everything. She won the competition. Chapter 8. Naomi's Speech. At the trophy ceremony, Naomi held her prize with tears in her eyes. "I want to thank Treyven and Guy Wolf," she said. "They believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. This is just the beginning." The crowd cheered. Treyven clapped the loudest. Chapter 9. Years later. In the years that followed, Naomi and Treyven stayed close friends. They called each other often, sharing stories of new tricks and contests. Naomi grew stronger and braver. She became the #1 female skater in the world, gracing magazines and videos. Treyven rose too, eventually becoming the #1 male skater in the U.S. Together, they started Crow 313 Board Company, named after Guy Wolf and Detroit. One day, Treyven finally understood what his mentor had meant. The greatest feeling wasn't winning for yourself. It was helping someone else find their fire. Chapter 10. Back to Detroit. When their plane finally landed back in Detroit, Guy Wolf hopped off the seat and stretched his wings. "Ah, that's better," he said with a satisfied sigh. "I love the smell of Coney dogs, Faygo, and just a hint of Johnny Noodle King in the morning." As they walked toward the People Mover, Guy Wolf kept listing Detroit food staples: pizza from Buddy's, Better Made chips, Sanders hot fudge. But Treyven had quietly pulled up his hood and put in his earbuds so Guy Wolf wouldn't notice. He leaned back in his seat on the train, looking out at the city he loved. On his phone screen was a picture of Naomi on the first-place pedestal, him beside her in second. He smiled, remembering everything he had learned. The end. For more awesome stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment where you're from, and tell us what Treyven should do next.